So, after several months of being silent, I wake up this morning and find this next to the Keyblade. Fuck does this mean? Hello?
We are coming for it.
Who the hell is this?
Silent Hill.
What the fuck is going on? I suppose I'll find out soon enough, but right now... Wait. Is it a coincidence that I'm about to start talking about Silent Hill? And whoever that was in the Keyblade are talking about Silent Hill? Either way, Silent Hill. I should preface that these games are quite story heavy and have loads of interpretations based on the various monsters, themes, and symbolisms. And while I'll give my own interpretations, I'll also provide a timestamp for you to skip if you have plans of playing these games yourself and you don't want to be spoiled with the story.
So, in 1992, Alone in the Dark came along and gave birth to the survival horror genre, even though the genre wouldn't get an official name until Capcom put out Resident Evil in 1996. In 1997, Konami saw what Capcom did and thought, hey, we could do that too! And after creating an in-house group called Team Silent to develop it, Silent Hill was born in 1999. The series title refers to the eponymous town of Silent Hill, which, depending on the media, is either in New England or West Virginia. Either way, Northeast US. The town itself is loosely based on the real-life coal mining town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, where a coal fire has been burning under the town since 1962, eventually necessitating the need to evacuate the town.
I only live about 2.5 hours away from that town. I don't think I should be going there.
The town of Silent Hill used to be a popular resort town, but it was eventually abandoned under mysterious circumstances with only a few people left in the town. This is where the first game begins, with single father and struggling novelist Harry Mason taking his 7-year-old daughter Cheryl to the town presumably for a vacation. The shadowy figure steps onto the road, causing Harry to swerve to miss the figure and crashing his car. Upon regaining consciousness the next morning, he finds that Cheryl is gone, the town is covered in thick fog, and it's snowing.
In the middle of July, totally freaky.
Another shadowy figure leads Harry down an alley, where it starts getting dark.
Oh no, it's dark in here.
The alley ends in a dead end with a corpse strung up against the wall, and then Harry is attacked by...
What the f*** is that?
Yeah, this is one of the scripted events where the character has to die, so Harry is seemingly killed by whatever the fuck these things are, only to wake up later on in the middle of the foggy day, and now in a diner under the watchful eye of Sybil Bennett, a police officer from the nearby town of Brahms.
Now you think a trained police officer would want to follow Harry and help him find his daughter. What does she do instead?
She gives the untrained civilian her spare firearm and tells her to shoot anything that isn't her.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
I'm not kidding about the untrained civilian part. You'll see throughout most of these games that the protagonists aren't exactly firearm trained, so it's better to go with melee weapons like planks of wood and lead pipes. Also in the diner, and Harry finds these things after Sybil leaves, are a flashlight and a handheld radio. The radio is actually a major gameplay element, as it'll start spewing static whenever monsters are near. Back to the story, Harry goes back to the alley but finds it blocked off and parts of the road have collapsed, making it impossible to pass, but he does find a clue about Cheryl's possible whereabouts thanks to these drawings that are scattered on the ground. So Harry follows those directions to the local elementary school, where things go dark again. So the flashlight comes in handy. Some parts of the school can't be accessed, so Harry has to restore power through the basement's generator and... So after defeating whatever the fuck that was, Harry returns to the school proper, but now things have changed even more than before. Things now look rustic, almost industrial. And the music sounds like you're visiting a dentist's office.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the other world. I don't know where that's coming from, but wow.
Harry does eventually make it back to the real world, which is one scan a day. What kind of time frame does this game work on? Jesus. He makes his way to the nearby church, where he meets a woman named Dahlia Gillespie. Dahlia hints that she might know where Cheryl is, but she is being cryptic as fuck. Harry eventually gets out so that Cheryl might be at the hospital, so he heads there and meets up with a psychiatrist named Michael Kaufman and a nurse named Lisa. Lisa's been caring for a young girl named Alessa, who was severely burned in an accident a few years ago. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Alessa is Dahlia's daughter? See, Dahlia used Alessa as a sacrifice to try to summon the god of the town's cult, a being known as Samael. But things didn't quite work out according to plan, as during the ritual Alessa split a portion of her soul off from herself, which manifested in a baby that Harry and his late wife found on the side of the road named Cheryl. Alessa is the true reason Harry and Cheryl came to the town, as Cheryl was being drawn to Alessa. The fog, the monsters, the other world, they're all a creation of Alessa's subconscious. Throughout the game, we've encountered not only the child-looking things, or whatever the fuck that thing was in school, but also dogs and fucking pterodactyls of all things. These great children things represent the other kids that bullied and tormented Alessa. The dogs are indicative of Alessa's fear of dogs, but I couldn't even begin to guess what the pterodactyls are supposed to be symbolic of. Granted, these are things that I interpret or have read online, but you might have other things to say about these creatures. Back to the story, it's not hard to find. As it turns out, Dahlia's ritual worked, and Alessa became, for lack of a better term, impregnated with Samael's spirit. Cheryl was split from Alessa to prevent Samael from being corporeal, and now that Cheryl and Alessa are together again, Dahlia wants to complete the ritual. And Samael, as it turns out, has parasites that he's implanted into certain characters, including Lisa and Sybil, both of whom can die, but you also have the option of saving them. With Cheryl and Alessa rejoined, Samael is born, but Harry does manage to defeat it.
And that is where this game's 4 endings come in.
You get these endings based on what you do throughout the game, so I won't go into too much detail. But you have the good ending, in which Harry discovers a newborn baby born from the reunion of Alessa and Cheryl's souls. There's another good ending, which is the same thing, only with Sybil along with Harry. The bad ending, which reveals this whole game has been Harry's dying dream. And the joke ending, where Harry gets abducted by aliens.
And yes, each subsequent game will have an alien ending.
For 1999, this game looks meh. In-game character models are ugly as hell, but the FMVs are actually pretty decent looking. I will say that the crappy in-game models actually help add to the creepiness of the monsters. I already went all about what I think the monsters represent, so doing so again here would be redundant. Much like this game's inspiration/competition, this game works on tank controls, only I think these controls are much heavier than in Resident Evil. For one thing, Harry looks pretty damn flat-footed, and who the hell runs like this? It looks like he just pissed himself. And much like Dino Crisis, you can walk while having your weapon at the ready. And unlike Resident Evil, Harry isn't trained in firearms. Sometimes when you fire your gun, the shots will go wide, and other times you'll hit your mark. As in most survival horror games, resources are limited. Ammunition, batteries, health pickups. You need to manage your items and toss any you don't need, like broken melee weapons. Yes, melee weapons can break if used too often. Much like Resident Evil, this game utilizes various puzzles scattered throughout the game. These puzzles, though, suck. Unless you know exactly what you're doing, and on your first playthrough you might not, you'll have no idea how to solve these puzzles. Look at this one in the school before you go down to the basement. Just by looking at this, can you tell me how you're supposed to figure this out?
Oh, I don't think so.
If there's one thing this game is brimming in, it's atmosphere. Just look at the opening screen. The fog, the snow. When most people think snow, it evokes images of the beauty of winter, Christmas, and snow-capped mountains.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Wish I could jump in there and roll around in all that cascading white powder.
But again, the snow, the fog, in this game, it invokes feelings of isolation and accentuates humanity's primal fear of the unknown. The fog might be the result of the technical limitations of working with PS1 technology, but it really adds to the feelings of loneliness and helplessness. The story might be a mess, especially with the way I described it. Sorry about that. But if you're a fan of horror games or just horror in general and haven't touched this game yet, I recommend you do so.
The 2018 Halloween Spooktacular has just begun, so next time we meet, we'll take a look at this game's sequel. It's one of the launch titles for the PS2 and is often flaunted as the perfect survival horror game ever made. Silent Hill 2. See you then.
One more thing.